Hi students, just a quick introduction. My name is Trevor Gerhard. I'm the overall module leader for the PPDI module that you're about to start across 9 different programs. And I have a visiting fellow here, James, who teaches on the program, and he's going to have a bit of a conversation with me about what actually the PPDI is all about, so that you start off on the right foot with a good understanding of the PPDI module.
All right, good morning from me, good afternoon from me, James Milne, Visiting Fellow Oil and Gas Programme, and I've been teaching on the PPDI module for the past 2 semesters.
So James, what is it all about?
Well, it's something completely different for students. It will certainly be challenging. It will take you out of your comfort zone. This is not a module where a lecturer or tutor stands at the front of the class and for 2 hours gives out information which you've got to collate, memorise and then regurgitate in the exam. The assessment is obviously coursework only, and basically it's the first stage in a building block process of making you employable, so it increases, or it should increase, your employability and maintain your employability through life. And what PPDI does is to actually start making you an autonomous learner. You're going to be taking charge of your own learning, writing your own learning contract, setting out your own learning problems and gaps in your skills that you see at the start of the module. And then hopefully using the project, whatever that might be a simulation, might be a design of an application, whatever your program decides, will enhance those gaps, improve those skills that you've identified as gaps in your learning contract.
So the placement, product, design and implementation module, PPDI, is all about trying to create a simulated real-world business experience, and for you to then learn various skills, various things regarding what you're engaging in. So give us some examples. You've been working with a simulation, so how are the students engaged with the simulation?
Well, the simulation that we used in the oil and gas program is obviously business related, work related. It allows students to identify and improve their skills in really 3 areas that the simulation is designed to test, which was problem solving, decision making and stakeholder management. The latter probably being the first time most students will have done any of stakeholder management, so it's a learning experience. But there are also some softer skills which the simulation, working in groups with people they don't necessarily associate with during class. So the group dynamics, team dynamics, resolving any conflicts that may occur because of that, and also time management and communication skills will also be improved by the simulation. Other departments may use different projects which will have, let's say, different learning skills or learning outcomes from them, depending on the nature of the project or the simulation that they use.
Excellent. So that's a really good example of the kinds of skills that you'll be developing, which isn't something you can just read in a book and then memorize. It's something you need to give a go at and sharpen and develop in that particular way. A really good example in terms of how you will be engaging in this module, it's going to feel like you're arriving in an extremely foreign airport, and the first thing you want to do is look for the exit and then look for a taxi to get to your hotel. But as you walk out, you can't read the signs, the flow of the people walking doesn't clearly indicate where the exit is, and you're extremely disorientated. There's no normal cues to follow in terms of how you would negotiate your journey. And the module will feel like that as you start. You'll feel lost, you'll feel disorientated. But give it time. You will find the exit, you will find the taxi, and you will find your hotel. You will be able to give the assessment at the end of this in a way that you would look back and go, wow, look what I've learned. Is there an example of a student that has that experience that you can recall?
Well, I think, Trevor, all students in the first 2-3 weeks of PPDI and its sister module EVRE struggle. They feel disorientated. Their usual reaction is, I'm not going to be able to get through this. I don't know what's going on. I don't understand. Believe me, if you experience those thoughts, you'll be in the same position that every other student that's gone through this module and come out the other end successfully will have felt in the first 2 or 3 weeks. You're being asked to go on a journey to discover yourself, discover your own learning needs, and to try and use the simulation or the project to improve those. So yes, there's no real structure at the start in comparison with other lectures you might have seen where there's been 10 weeks of knowledge transfer. This is about making you, the student, take charge of your own learning. And you will be disorientated, it will be challenging, it is going to take you outside of your comfort zone. But at the end of the 10 weeks, the portfolio of evidence that you provide as your coursework submission should take the reader or the marker on that journey that you will have made from a very confused beginning to a very ordered ending, where you will have become an autonomous learner and a reflective thinker. A reflective thinker really comes from the EVRE module, which is closely aligned, overlaps, and to a certain extent coincides with PPDI, but you're reflecting on what you do in PPDI in EVRE. I can say really that most students at the end of the 10 weeks are upbeat, they've learnt a lot about themselves, and they have a completely different attitude to those feelings and emotions that they went through in the first 2 or 3 weeks. So people have done this before, you're not alone, and it will be a journey, and it will be a successful journey that your tutor or your lecturer will take you on a partnership through, and you'll come out at the other end much improved as a self-autonomous learner.
So basically this is a work-based learning module. We're giving you a work experience, and we are wanting you to engage with that experience and learn about yourself as you're engaging in that experience. And so hence you've heard the evaluation and reflection module walks alongside this PPDI to enable you to reflect on what it is you're learning, hard skills, soft skills, self-awareness, professional development, and all those kinds of things. There will be some cues that you will have that will guide you through this journey, and one of those is the assessment brief. So do go on to GSM Learn. It will clearly identify what it is that we will be assessing at the end of this, and it will give you clear guidance as to what is expected, task 1 and task 2. And for most of it, they're templates that you're going to be filling in, and task 2 gives you a clear description of what is required for you to write in terms of the portfolio of evidence. Any last thoughts, James?
No, I think if you've got any questions, do ask your tutor or lecturer. The delivery might well be in a common module, but slightly different across each program. But do ask questions. I'm sure there is plenty of time in the 10 weeks of the scheme of work to actually develop your own portfolio, which includes your own learning contract and then a report on the project or the simulation, whatever you have done in your program. And there's plenty of time to develop and ask questions about that. The scheme of work, the module handbook, and the coursework brief are all important documents. Don't read those in week 8, engage with those at the very start, and you'll have a clearer picture about what this very challenging but highly motivating and very enjoyable module will provide for you. I wish you all the best.
So welcome to the PPDI module. Enjoy the journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you.